What's up? So I just wanted to test this out and see how shit goes, I wanted to see what things I could come up with and try to talk to myself and give, if I even post this, whoever some insights onto life. So, first things first, I want to say we aren't only 3D beings, meaning we don't just walk around and have a body. There's deeper layers to life, and I'm assuming that you know this, so I'm going to keep going further and further. Like, because of this, because of the fact that we are multi-layered beings, not dimension, I'm not saying anything like that, just layered. The people who recognize this have a duty to fill. And it depends on what side of karma you're on, I guess you could say. But that duty will be fulfilled regardless. I want to talk about the oppression of the human mind and the mass forgetting of the human conscious. Well, not forgetting, it's more of erasing. So since the time we were born, in this 20th and 21st century, the government has been planning many operations and projects behind our backs. To name a few, Project Bluebeam, Project Mockingbird, Operation Paperclip, and furthermore. Those are just three really important examples. And for one, because, and Project MK Ultra, which is the 21st century's representation of mindless zombies and mind control. So, Operation Paperclip was for America to sign Nazi Germany scientists and bring them into our government and let them run science departments. That was, I'm not sure about the year, so I won't speculate and I won't say anything that I don't know to be true. But that was around the time after World War II. That was around the time that NASA was created. Nazi Germans run NASA, and NASA is set to break away from America. NASA is the shadow government inside the government. NASA is a part of the CIA. Not a part of, but they work for the same end. And there's competing entities in the government. When you say government, who do you mean? You mean the judges? You mean the president? You mean the senators? And that's probably as far as most people go, but it's way deeper than that. It's the FBI, it's the CIA, it's the NSA, it's the fucking, NCAA or, I forget it. But it's really any association or any acronymed fucking entity that really runs shit. It's behind the scenes. Everything is. The FBI won't show up to your door if they're doing an investigation, right? Just like the CIA won't tell you, the American public, that they're doing an operation to kill, let's say, Saddam Hussein or his son. Or, Osama bin Laden recently. Osama bin Laden's son. They won't tell you that shit. But they'll do it. And just because they do it to other countries, what makes you think that they wouldn't do it to you? Now that leads me into Operation MK Ultra. Or project, I should say. They were studying, through Nazi German scientists, that the wavelengths affect the human mind in whatever way. It can make you feel angry. It can make you feel depressed, anxious. It can make you feel any range of emotion that you can possibly feel by altering the wavelengths in the air and in the sound that you're listening to directly confuse your brain. This is why rappers like X, people like Soluminati and fucking Enoch the Freestyle Prince talk about frequency. The amount of waves per minute. Frequency. Each frequency, each hertz affects your brain in a different way. and the more strength that's applied to it, the stronger the effects can get. It's not only your brain, it's every cell in your body. Every cell, down to your penis skin, down to your fucking toenail skin. Every cell will be affected. In a different way, sure, but it will be affected all the same. Project MK Ultra was to learn how to manipulate those waves and those frequencies to get that exact result, to affect your cells. Things like cell phones, television, things like radios, all of those things are based on sound and light. Those work off waves. They can purposely manipulate those waves and the energy behind those waves, which is very important if you listen to Nikola Tesla. They can manipulate the energy behind those waves, not just the waves themselves, to confuse your brain, to put you in a state of paranoia, a state of anger, a state of confusion, hysteria. They can do this. It has been tested many times. Like, for example, the Battle of LA. They were shooting at a flying saucer that was clearly getting hit, clearly being recorded, clearly on the news and spread out to people. If they were hitting it, don't you think something would have fell off? Not destroyed it, but even fell off, like something at all? That was just to test how people would react to something that serious. That was just a test. Yes, the gunshots and everything were real. Like, don't get me wrong. They were really shooting at that shit. But it was a test by them, testing their equipment and testing their frequencies. Testing how a radio broadcaster could affect many people at once. This is important. Further down the line, other religions and other, let's say, fraternities got involved in this. The things that run our society are not run by the people. These frats, these shadow agencies, all of this shit is what runs us. So, that being said, everything that we see on mass media, everything that we see in ads and commercials is propaganda. Even internet memes at this point are propaganda. Everything is propaganda for a certain agenda or for a certain belief system. Now, I can back this up by saying this. I did research on a scholarly journal for my psychology class in last year. The research was that subliminal messages in media, in news media, can affect the voting outcome, can affect the polls. And this was studied in like Dubai and in the Middle East. It can affect the polls, right? So subliminal messages, symbolism, things like that can affect your subconscious mind. That wavelength, whatever they put into it, the energy that they put behind it, it affects your mind into acting out a certain behavior, i.e. the polls. So, once they do that, what makes you think that they could not do that for anything that they wanted to do? A numerous array of things. Like, let's say, for example, child pedophilia. Oh wait, just pedophilia. They want to make that a sexual orientation. I personally believe that no sane person would want that or consider that a sexual orientation. This is my point. They can say or do anything that they want. And as long as one person believes it, society will grab to it eventually. That is their goal of the New World Order. To bring in demons within society, to break down society in order to keep their bloodlust and their thirst for evil going, and their power gain and their power grab going. They want to stay in control. They don't want the revolution to be televised, even though they built the internet for us. I just want to say that you should do your research and free your mind and feed your head. And don't fall into these traps. And don't let the frequencies affect you. even if it's negative and even if it's tempting to be affected by it. Get out of that head state. Don't let these evil fucks win, bro. We can't let these evil fucks win. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm out.